Hey there, few months ago I was completely done with studying. No energy, no motivation, just boredom and guilt. Every time I opened my books, I felt this heavy resistance, like I know I had to study, exam were coming, deadline were close, but I just couldn't bring myself to care anymore. I would sit at my desk, open my laptop, maybe highlight a few lines, but I was just going through the motion. Then I would end up scrolling on my phone for an hours and that's feel even worse. It was like this cycle, guilt, no motivation, more guilt. If you have ever felt like you should be studying but your brain just doesn't want to cooperate, this video is for you. Because I was stuck in that same place and I want to share how I got out of it, not by pushing harder but changing how I think about learning. So here is what happened. I had a system, I had my study schedule, my flashcard, my note-taking setup in Obsidian. Everything looked organized. It looked like I had things under control, and for a while it actually worked. I was showing up every day, checking off tasks, finishing chapters. I felt productive. But then something changed. Slowly, I started reading my study session. Even though I had everything planned, it just felt empty. I would sit down, open my flashcard and flip through them like robot. Take a few notes, highlight a few lines and then call it a day. I wasn't connecting with material anymore. I was just trying to finish it. It started to feel like I was studying just to tick boxes. Like, okay, I did it for an hour. It counts, right? But deep down, I knew I wasn't really learning. I was just pretending to be learning. And the weird thing is, I wasn't even failing. I was still passing my exam. But I wasn't learning with purpose. I was not curious. I was just going through the motion, and that feel worse than failing. Because I didn't feel stuck because I couldn't do it. I felt stuck because I didn't care anymore. At some point, I realized I had completely lost track of why I was studying in the first place. In the beginning, I was excited, I had goals, I wanted to build a career I actually care about, I wanted to learn things that mattered, things that would make me better. And yeah, maybe a part of me also wanted to prove I could do it, maybe to me and someone else too. But over time, that motivation kind of faded and got buried under deadlines, pressures, and expectations. I wasn't thinking about growth or curiosity anymore. I was thinking about staying on schedule, finishing my to-do list, not falling behind other students or people on YouTube who seems to have their lives together. And social media didn't help. I would see people doing 10 hours study days, perfect aesthetic desk setup, people talking about how they are waking up 5 a.m. and smashing their goal every day. Meanwhile, I was just trying to survive on study session without zoning out. I didn't notice it right away, but eventually I had this moment where I thought, wait, why am I doing this anymore? And that's when it hit me. I was studying to not to fall behind instead of studying to move forward. And that's a huge difference. When you are studying to keep up, you stop enjoying the process. You lose curiosity. You lose purpose. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been so focused on a thing that you forget why you even started? That's where I was, and it's not good. Alright, here is where things start to shift. Step 1. I gave myself permission to take a break. I didn't call it a lazy day, I call it a rest day. I closed my books, shut down my flashcard app, and spent an afternoon doing nothing but thinking. No Netflix, no endless scrolling, just a walk, a notebook with me, and some quiet environment. I kept asking myself one question. What if the way I'm studying is the real problem? The more I thought about it, the clearer it becomes. I wasn't tired of learning, I was tired of the pressure I would build around it. That short reset felt taking a deep breath after holding it for too long. It wasn't about escaping, it was about clearing the fog so I could see the road again. Step 2. I made learning feel useful again. Next, I try to remember why I picked my subject in the first place. For me, it was the idea that knowledge could help people and open doors for my career. So I looked for real world proof that my subject mattered. I watched a documentary where professionals use the exact concept I was stuck on. I searched on YouTube for short explainer that shows those ideas work in real project. I even reach out to a person already working in the field and ask how they use this stuff day to day. Seeing my notes coming alive outside the textbook flip a switch in my brain. Oh yeah, this isn't just an about exam, it's a tool I can use. That simple connection pulled a spark of curiosity back in my study session. Step 3. I switched study modes. The next change was big. I stopped passive review. Instead of rereading, I pretend I had to teach every topic to a beginner version of me. I open Obsidian and start writing, explain it to my notes, like a mini lecture in plain words. If I couldn't explain an idea without looking my notes, I knew I didn't get it yet. So I would dive back in, clear up few pages, then rewrite the explanation. This killed two birds. Active recall became natural because I was teaching, not scheming. I let go of making my notes pretty. They were messy, but they work and that felt freeing. Perfection was out, understanding was in. Step 4. I set smaller wins. Finally, I shrink my goals. Instead of saying finish 3 chapters tonight, I ask, can I pull one solid insight from this section? Something I can explain with zero notes? When I nailed that one clear idea, I count it as a win. Some days I grab two insights, some days just one, but each win felt crisp and real, not a half baked paragraph highlighted in yellow. Over time, those small wins stack up, and I felt progress again, except now it was about clarity, not about how many pages I have finished. And that was the turning point. A reset, a renewed why, a new way of studying, and bite size win. Those four shifts reignited my motivation far more than any all nighter or fancy timetable ever did. So, what actually changed after all these steps? Well, here is the thing, I still have off days. There are still moments when I don't feel like I open a book. My brain just wanted to do something else. That hasn't magically gone away, but now I don't read studying like I used to. I don't sit there and think, oh, there we have again. Instead, I respect study time. It's become something I actually value, not something I fight with, because now when I sit down to learn, I know why I'm doing it. I'm not chasing grades or guilt anymore. I'm chasing understanding, and that's make the whole experience feel lighter. Even when the topic is boring or technical, there is a quiet satisfaction is in figuring out something, explaining it to myself and watching my own confidence grow bit by bit. Before this, I used to spend hours reviewing and still feel unsure before exam. Now I study less overall, but I retain more because I'm focused, not frantic. That shift in mind from how much I can cram to what I can really understand today has been the biggest shift for me. Friends, the difference between my worst burnout week and now is not about hours or efforts. It's about direction. I'm not dragging myself forward anymore. I'm actually moving forward. My friend, if you are stuck in that same place I was, bored, burnout, going through the motion, here is what I want to say to you. It's not that you are lazy, it's not that you don't care. It's probably just that your system stops serving you. So here is what helped me and maybe it can help you too. Take a real reset, not a I will scroll Instagram and call it a break kind of reset. I mean, pause everything, stop away, and ask yourself some real questions. Why did I start studying in this first place? Am I actually learning or just checking boxes? What part of this subject still feel interesting, if any? Make it useful again. Find one video, article, or example of your subject being used in the real world. Remind yourself this isn't about just exam. It has a purpose. Curiosity is fuel. You just have to light it again. Change how you learn. Stop trying to make perfect notes or cram content. Try explaining things out loud to yourself. Use tools like Obsidian. Ask, can I teach this to someone else? If not, dig in little deeper until you can. That's real learning and it's a way more fun than you would expect. Focus on clarity, not completion. Forget doing 5 chapters in a day, aim for one insight that actually clicks. If you can explain it in your own words without looking at notes, there is a win. That's real progress. Friends, if you try even one of those things, I promise studying will start to feel different. Not perfect, not effortless, but more meaningful, more motivating, more like something you would doing for yourself, not just to survive exams. And hey, if you are still stuck in that same place, please don't beat yourself. You are not broken, you are just overwhelmed, and that's completely fixable. You are allowed to hit reset, you are allowed to find a new way of forward, and you are definitely allowed to learn at your own pace. If you like this video, you would definitely love the next one where I'm sharing my story how I am finally finishing all my saved articles and videos that I saved in the read read it later app like Raindrop. Well, that's all I wanted to say for this video. Let's jump to this next video. See you there.